I'm gonna give it a minute to have people show up. I'm taking my glasses off because this is gonna glare. Let's see. So, I am. So, basically, I don't quite know what I want to do. Because part of me, part of me wants to discuss everything and share what exactly happened to me. And there are screenshots and proof of everything. You can find it online, I promise. It's there. On my page, on my public page, on the blacklist page. It's out. You want screenshots? You want more stuff? Please ask me. I'll send it to you. I'm not kidding. Like if you DM me on Instagram or on Facebook, I'll give it to you. I don't care. But I'm going to talk about exactly what happened in the time frame that I left YouTube. The time frame that, I posted and talked about how, I wasn't going to be on YouTube as much. And there's a little bit more stuff over on my Instagram during that time frame because I was a little bit more active still on my Instagram. But basically, I was involved with a large friend group of Ohio service dog handlers on Facebook. And, I was friends with these people for 8 months, inseparable. Every single day, I was at their house. They were at my house. They would come and stay at my house for, days. Like, literally, there was one point where they stayed at my house for 2 freaking weeks. And, best friends. I have screenshots of them saying, "Oh, you're family. I'll always help you out if you need help. Like, if you ever need anything, please just ask." And I even said I made it clear that it made me uncomfortable and that I didn't want to ask for help unless I was desperate and that I didn't have any other options. And basically, we're going to start at when things started to go downhill. So, let me blow this up here. We're going to start this out when I posted I was going to IOP treatment. I started IOP treatment. I'd have to go back and look at the exact date. It was at the end of the year last year that I went to IOP treatment. I willingly went to IOP treatment because I was going through a lot of stress in my home and it was making me feel really bad. I was not in a good headspace. I felt miserable all the time. I was exhausted all the time. Later on, I look back and realize that, probably because I was spreading myself too thin trying to please everybody and making myself feel like I can make everybody happy when I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. I was miserable. All the time. I was miserable. I was living a bullshit lie that I concocted for myself to make myself feel accepted in a community of people who were like me. Hello. So I made this false sense that I was doing the right thing and, that these people cared and blah, blah, blah. And sure, it started off that way. I do think that they gave a shit. It started off that way. But as time went on, I felt less and less and less like people gave a shit. and more like it was a pity. And that, well, we can't just cut her off, so we might as well just, humor her, but talk behind her back and say things when she's not around. And I know that that's what happened because I have screenshots of it. I'm not stupid. And you want to talk about online bullying? Posting screenshots to a public page warning people and putting in the thing to not harass or go after these people is not online bullying. What's online bullying is talking behind somebody's back 3 days after they try and kill themselves, which is bullshit. You knew. I called this person sobbing in your home while you were around. That's bullcrap that you didn't know. That's bullcrap. Because even after it happened, I told you it happened. I had to go to IOP treatment, was going to be put into inpatient. You knew. I was desperate. I called everybody. I called you and you didn't answer. So don't you dare say that you didn't know. Don't you dare. I put up with everybody else's emotional turmoil and the lies and the manipulation and the talking behind each other's backs about people in the community and talking bad about other people's dogs. Lord knows what the hell he talked about behind my back that I don't know about that's not screenshotted. Lord knows. But I put up with everybody else's mental health issues. I was there for everybody. One of them went missing, and I called every hospital in Columbus looking for them. And they're one of the main people who stabbed me right in the back. And trust me, you can find who it is. You can find who all these people are. It is not hard. And I'm not quiet about it. And I refuse to be. And as for being bored on quarantine, these things are backdated long before quarantine started. I posted this stuff months ago. I haven't posted anything since quarantine, ironically. And you know who posted something during quarantine? You. You did. Not me. I was going to go in and do this whole video and post all these screenshots and do a video of, tea spill style and, go all in. It's a waste of my fucking time. You're a waste of my time. I posted what I posted. It's been posted for I can't tell you how long. Months, actually. Months it has been posted. And I haven't talked about it. Leave it. Leave it up. I posted updates on it that were, of people claiming to be something that they're not. And those things were because other handlers reached out to me and asked me to post them because they didn't have access to do so. So, that's why that got updated. I was asked to. Okay. It's not just one person. As a matter of fact, there are 15 people that you have manipulated, backstabbed, been buddy with, and then all of a sudden, you cut them off and you try and spin a story of how poor, pitiful me, they did this to me, they did that to me. You know what's the reoccurring thing in all of this? You. You're the reoccurring pawn, not these people. So back to what I was talking about, storyline wise, I'm going to try and stay on track of what actually happened. So essentially, I went to IOP treatment. I was in IOP treatment, and then um, it was about my third appointment. My apartment complex, I had animals. I had my pet rats, I had my bearded dragon, I had pet mice, all of which that I had cleared with my apartment before I ever moved in. I asked them specifically if they were allowed to be here, and I was told that they were allowed to be here. I would not move somewhere if I couldn't have my animals. I would not sneak animals into a place because that is stupid and not a good plan. Um, so, yeah, they said that they could be here. Well, because I kept reporting my neighbor for having an aggressive dog, they backtracked and said that I couldn't have any of my animals. And I got a phone call from my sister, who was manic, frantic, calling me that we had to remove all the animals in our apartment within 24 hours or they would evict us. So, yeah, I left IOP treatment that day for obvious reasons, to try and go and handle that situation. So basically, I tried to fight it. I did. I tried everything. I went back through footage that I didn't even know I had and dug and dug and dug to try and prove that they allowed me to have these animals. And I was exhausted. All the while, I was trying to balance friends and balance going to work and going to IOP treatment and all that stuff. I tried to balance it all. And hold on. I tried to balance it all. And it wasn't sustainable. So I kind of took a step back out of friends and tried to kind of focus on what I was doing to try and get help. But all the while, my entire life was crumbling to the ground. Everything that I knew and loved. At that time, my grandmother, I'm sorry. At that time, during all of this, my grandmother was put into the hospital and ended up going into a coma. And my mom really thought she was gonna die. She almost did die. So that was the second time that I left IOP treatment. I missed an appointment at IOP to go down and see my grandmother. To go down and see my grandmother. So that was the second time I left IOP treatment. Second and last time I left IOP treatment. So, during all of this, I had a full mental breakdown. I was losing animals that I had had for 6+ years. Imagine losing your dog or dogs back to back to back. Animals that you've had their whole life, and when you got them, you promised them that you would never, ever have to rehome them like everybody else does when they say that they're done with them. If you know me, you know that I love my animals. I always have. They are my life. If I could, I would work with animals. If I was physically able to, I would work with animals. So this killed me. Especially after being told that I could have them and making sure and paying extra to make sure that they were safe and that they were allowed to be here. And then being told that every last one had to go. So, I was not doing great. And at that point, in IOP treatment, I had discussed that, I was being pushed out further and further from my friend group. Mostly because I stopped giving a shit. I stopped being there, I stopped giving, I stopped. All of it. I stayed to myself. No more trips, no more car, no more coming over to my house and using my things, no more borrowing my things, no more. I took a step back. And I got pushed out further and further and further. And then when I was in IOP treatment, they discussed setting boundaries and talking about how things would, being open about things that make you uncomfortable. So I brought up in the group chat that I felt uncomfortable and that I felt like I was being shoved out. And at that point, this person decided to DM me. And it started off as oh, well, we only want the best for you, and, this holier art thou mentality of I can help you, and, let me do this and let me do that. You can't fix what was going on. What were you going to fix? And as for the whole money thing, my money issues stemmed from the fact that I had issues with my sister not paying me, which will soon be resolved because I'm moving out on my own. My money issues had nothing to do with, oh, well, you should better budget. It had nothing to do with that. I didn't even make enough to survive, let alone budget. I was paying bills, going to the food pantry, trying to survive. And don't even get me started on the, oh, well, why don't you just ask your parents for money? Because they're not my ATM. Okay? They're not my ATM. And I asked you people for money when it was due. There were a few times that I asked you if I could borrow money, and I paid it back. When I said that I was going to pay it back, I paid it back. Oftentimes earlier than I said that I would pay it back. And I have proof of that. I have screenshots, all that. As for asking you to do things for me, yeah, I did. Because you would trash my home, you would trash my car, you would use my things and not put them back so I didn't know where the hell they were. So yeah, I did ask you to help. Because if you're going to practically live at my house, you're going to help clean it. I can hardly survive cleaning up after myself, let alone cleaning up after a whole herd of cattle going through my house. So yeah, I'm not claiming that I didn't ask you to help clean my house. I did. When people would destroy things in my home, leave garbage out, dirty dishes, when we would have a big party and there'd be a shit ton of garbage. Hell yeah, I can't take garbage out by myself. I can't do it by myself. Physically, I can't do it by myself. I never asked you to fully take garbage out. I asked you to bag garbage or tie the bag shut, or when we would leave, I'd ask you to sit the garbage out. I would drive you up there. And it never was an issue. Ever. It never was, oh no, I don't want to. No, I don't want to. Never. You want to talk about being passive aggressive? How about the fact that you never brought it up? Ever. You never said, no, I don't want to. No. Instead, you would do it, and then you would go behind my back and bitch about it. So, basically what happened after this is that after talking about trying to set boundaries that I felt uncomfortable with being shoved out and completely being ignored when I would always be there for them when they would have a problem, and then as soon as I would bring up a problem, they would always deflect and try and go back to their problem. So I felt like no one cared. So I brought it up. Well, they went and decided to basically say that I use my disability, that, oh, well, you were thinking about washing Denali. Yeah, how many times did you think about washing your dog? How many times? For good reason, mind you. I've had professional training with him. More than one, actually. He has documented training. More than one documented training. So yeah, there were times that I questioned it. Just like any other handler does. So that was the first issue. And that is very public. The screenshots of that DM is very public. Again, all of that stuff is on the blacklist if you want to go and find it. It's there. Promise you, it's there. And I'm pretty sure the screenshots of what I'm about to talk about are also there. So basically, I left the group chat because it was made very clear to me that these people didn't care. Nobody cared. So I wasn't going to be a part of the group chat anymore. I wasn't going to be part of it anymore. So I left. And this whole situation 3 days after I tried to kill myself. 3 days. You know what one person says when I leave the group chat? Abruptly. No idea what was going on. I just left the group chat. They had no idea what was going on. Good riddance. Who in their right mind says good riddance about somebody leaving a group chat 3 days after trying to kill themselves, which they knew. There's no way that I didn't know. That's bull crap. Bull crap. Because I guarantee you knew. It was very, very obvious in the group. You knew. So then they decide when I'm out of the group chat to have a nice let's bash Jetta time and just talk all kinds of awful crap about me, making fun of me, talking about how, oh, well, she does this to her sister and she does that with her sister. You have no idea what it is like in my life, in the shit that I have to deal with, okay? My family is well aware, okay? It is not a new issue with my sister, okay? She's not an easy person to live with. I'm constantly getting duped for money. It's not a good situation. I'm getting out of it, okay? It's not a good situation. And the people around me are well aware. I'm talking about exactly what happened to me when I went on hiatus from YouTube for a while. That's what this is. And basically talking about my side that I have proof for. So basically, they go on this big rant and talk all kinds of stuff about me, thinking that I can't see it. And then somehow magically, I'm not going to talk about who added me back, but someone added me back. And I could see every last bit of it. And I screenshotted every last bit of it. And before I left, I told them that they were piss-awful friends. Because they were. And you know what the giant kicker in all of this is? Is after all of that, I forgave them. I forgave them. We talked. We became kind of friends again. I didn't fucking trust any of them. At all. And I told them that I didn't trust them. But I went back. Because I'm an idiot. And I forgive when I shouldn't. I should have stayed away. I should have left it and realized of the kind of people that they are and left. But I didn't. I went back. And at that point, I tried to talk to them about how fucked up it was that they did that to me. And you know what they tried to do? Oh, well, you do this, or you do that, or you. Every time I would try and bring up something that they did, it's an automatic flipping it back on me, saying, well, you did this, or well, you did that. Okay. Well, if I did do that, why was it never brought up? When it became a problem, I brought it up. The whole reason that this whole thing started is because when I started to have a problem, I brought it up. That's the whole reason this stuff kicked off. So, Why was it never a problem until I started to see and stop listening, and I started to see the cracks and holes in the foundation of that fucking house. A glass house that you can't throw stones in. And yet, that's all you did. This person's doing this, that person's doing that, they aren't doing that right. When you're no better, you're no better. So, at that point, forgave them for all the awful things it said to me in a private chat. Everything seemed to be hunky-dory. I'm an idiot. Looking back, I'm an idiot and should have left, but everything was fine. Well, then, someone boots me from the group without telling me, without telling anybody, and starts to make claims that Denali is aggressive. I've talked about this before, and I'm going to say it again. Denali has had training. Denali has had professional training. Denali has documented professional training. Okay? He gets excited. He's big and scary. So people are scared of him. So yeah, he's an easy target for people to say, oh, he bit somebody. Or, oh, well, he's aggressive. He's an easy target. I get it. So, person started to make claims. Well, basically, a third party came to me, and I gave him everything about what happened and the reason why. They're like, oh, well, I removed them because they blocked an admin. I blocked an admin because you told me good riddance after I tried to kill myself. That's why. That's why I blocked you. Not because you were an admin, but because you're a shitty person. And you said awful crap about me, and I'm not going to put up with it. You don't even know me. You hate me so much, and you don't even know me. There are 2 people out of that whole group that even gave a single shit at one point, and knew one person out of that whole group who knew anything. And I will say this now, and they know who they are. I loved and cared about her deeply. And the only person out of this that made me upset to lose was her. She knows who she is. I loved her dearly. And I cared more about her than I had about a lot of people. And it sucks. I'm not mad. And I've made it clear. And that's where the one person gets it wrong. I've had contact with her. And she's aware. I don't hate her. I think that the stuff that she's done is fucked up. And I think that she has a birdie in her ear. And I think that she'd be a lot better if she was away from all of it. But it's not my place. It's not my place. And I can't force somebody. I can't. But I can make it very clear how I feel. And I know for a fact that you said at one point, oh, well, I wasn't even friends with her. That's bullcrap. Got screenshots of you saying I'm family, that I'm your best friend, and that, what would you do without me, and all that stuff. Okay? I have proof of all that. So don't say you weren't friends with me. 8 months, inseparable, practically lived at my house, and yet you weren't friends with me. When someone pissed you off, whose house did you go to? It wasn't your other 2 friends, no. It was mine, at 1 a.m. But you weren't my friend. I wasn't your friend. I left my door unlocked for you that night. Because you were upset and you didn't want to be in the house. I left my door unlocked many nights for you. So basically, all that stuff happened. about trying to claim Denali was aggressive and me having all the proof that he wasn't. And basically they tried to add me back. Well, here's the kicker in all of this. I had the admin chat. No one stood up for me in there. No one stood up for me. They played middleman and they didn't give a single crap. This person didn't have any repercussions for their actions of acting out of turn. Never. They didn't have any repercussions. Instead, they just tried to put a band-aid over it and say, oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. You know, you're in the group. It's fine. Fuck your group. Fuck your group. Okay? It's a let's piss on other people and pump up our ego even more in that group. That's all it is. My dog is great. My dog is this. My dog is that. Oh my God, look at this. That's all it is. Yeah, instead, I got brought absolutely everything from the admin chat and had proof. I had proof of everything that was said and everything that was brushed off and dismissed. And this person didn't have any repercussions for their actions. As a matter of fact, they're probably still an admin. No repercussions for their actions. They don't have very many repercussions for any of their actions. I feel for these people. I do. They all have some serious mental health issues. I do. But I went and got treatment. I got medicated. I got help. Continuing to get help. I got my stuff straight. I got my life straight. I'm going to buy a house. Move out on my own. I'm fine. I have a reliable service dog that I love more than anything in the world. And that I didn't abuse to the point of washing. And that hadn't killed another dog. And that hasn't ever started a fight. I'm good. I'm in a good place. Now, financially, mentally, emotionally. And the difference between what happened 5 months ago and now, mentally, is that I'm not going to give you an ounce of any energy that I have left. I already did another live where I showed all the proof and documentation of Denali and me being diagnosed. All the proof. Proof that you haven't shown. None of you have shown. I'm an open book. I have nothing to hide. And if you're going to try and claim what I already talked about before of, oh, I have screenshots on this person. What? Of what? That I talked about being assaulted twice before Denali ever finished training, by the way. This stuff was before he finished training. He was under a year old when all this happened. When I talked about being assaulted and Denali bit my attacker, which by the way is allowed in the ADA. I was being assaulted. I was being choked out and pinned against a wall. And I couldn't fucking breathe. And when I was able to scream, he bit him and I was let go. And he came to me. He didn't go after him. He stayed with me. I thought I was gonna die. And if you ask me, my dog saved my life that day. Okay? He saved my life. If I want to get shitlisted for that, then shitlist me. But it was before he completed training. It was before he was a full service dog. It was before he did any of that. He was in training for obedience at that point, and I had worked with a trainer at that point. And as for the other person that he bit, he didn't bite him. He got a hold of his shirt and ripped his shirt because he tried to hit me. And he was like 5 months old. 5 months old. He was a pup. And didn't know any better. He started training at 4 months, if that gives you an idea of actual doing obedience work at 4 months old. And to put into context of what happened the day that Denali bit my ex. This is the same person who already manipulated me, hurt me, assaulted me, had isolated me so much. And at that point, I made him mad. What happened that day? We were on the couch. He used to get mad because Denali would take up the couch because he wanted to lay next to me. And I made it very clear that my dog was off limits and that he was never to do anything to my dog ever, and that it was my place to discipline him, to tell him to get down. Well, this day he decided to shove my dog off the couch and he hit his head. I shoved him off the couch because he wasn't ready. And I got mad. I told him, don't ever do that again. And it turned into an argument. And he decided to grab a hold of me. Trigger warning to anybody before I talk about this. But he decided to grab a hold of me. He grabbed me by the neck, pinned me to the wall, started to choke the life out of me. And I kept fighting back, and he acted like this was some sick sexual kink. And I couldn't breathe, and I was scared, and I thought I was going to be assaulted again. So I screamed, please, what I could get out. And at that point, Denali bit him, and he let me go, and I caught my breath, and I had a hold of Denali, and he ran out of my house. And at that point, my neighbors came downstairs and realized what had just happened. And I was scared, so I didn't call the cops. I just sat in the corner in my apartment and cried. And cried and cried and cried. I was scared that, it would ruin my dog. The dog that I spent thousands on and worked my ass off. So once I kind of recouped, I really started to buckle down going to training and working with a trainer to make sure that didn't happen. Because I'll be damned if he keeps ruining my life. And he still is. He's still around. He still tries. Made it to where I can't have kids. So that's great. Ruined my life. But I'm alive. So if you want to use that as justification to try and say my dog is aggressive, go fuck yourself. Don't say that you're here for abuse survivors and survivors of domestic violence when, no, you're not. You don't get to pick and choose who you do and don't. You don't get to say that. I lived through it. I survived. Denali thrived after that. Once we got the issues of him being equally as scared as me under control, he thrived. So after that, I left everything. Absolutely everything. And kept to myself. And ironically enough, this person continues to claim that, their dog doesn't pull their wheelchair or whatever. There's screenshots of you saying, well, who cares if my dog pulls my wheelchair? Got screenshots of that. And not to mention, it's awfully ironic that after you got called out for that and it got posted, that all your other videos got deleted. You deleted every last bit. They're archived, you know. The internet is forever. The internet is forever. Remember that. Not to mention, they tried to get a lawyer involved. I didn't break any laws. I didn't do anything wrong. Again, like I said, don't go attack these people. Their lives are falling the fuck apart. Their social life online is falling apart. People are aware of the things that they have done. There is screenshots and proof of them abusing their dogs from the past. If you go to the blacklist and dig, trust me, it's there. I've seen it. Saw it firsthand. Them lose their temper on their dog and hurt their dog. So, get off your high horse. I've owned everything that I've done that's been tried to use as ammunition against me. Like I said, I'm an open book. Dig all you want. Dig all you want. I have nothing to hide. And as for them saying, oh, well, they brought my wife's stuff into it, it was part of it. I was tired of having to lie for you. And your wife deserved to know what was going on behind her back in her house. And I already said when we sent all that stuff to your wife, was saying, hey, this is going on. You need to be aware. What you do with this is your own decision because you're a grown adult. And that was it. We sent her all the stuff that we had and all the proof that we had, and that was it. And what she decided to do with it was what she decided to do with it. So that's great. If it helped your relationship and helped you actually tell the truth, to be forced to tell the truth, great. Awesome. But it's sad that somebody had to force you to tell the truth because you just couldn't go outright and be like, hey, I messed up. Happy we could help. Did you just fart? So gross. You farted. You're gross. Denali's laying beside me. But yeah, if that's what it took, that's what it took. Awesome. Great. If your relationship's doing better because of it, awesome. Because Lord knows it was in turmoil. You know, and I feel for you. I do. Whole life falling apart. Bunch of awful stuff happening back to back, but you know, I had my whole life fall apart. And no one was there for me. So, it's awfully ironic that you do that to somebody else and then the world has a way of doing it back. So, and you want to complain about, oh, well, you brought this person into it. Keep my family out of it. And I gave you a warning. And this is the warning. Stop. Don't ever bring it up. You can talk about being blacklisted. You can talk about that stuff. Don't talk about me. Don't talk about my family. Don't talk about my dog. Nothing. Because I hadn't talked about it in months. Months! Talking about being bored in quarantine. I didn't do anything. I didn't post anything until now. And I'll file a restraining order if I have to. If that's what it takes. I mean, it's not like it's gonna matter. I'm gonna leave practically the state. So it's not going to matter. You'll be a blip on the radar, stuck in your own dysfunction as you always are. And I get to live my life happy, with a happy family who loves me, and a service dog who loves me, and I love him. And with wonderful people around me on my channel and on my social media who do nothing but say kind and sweet things, and I do care deeply and thank you all deeply, because sometimes the negativity, it gets to you. The negative things that people say to you, they get to you. So I do thank you all for being kind and being there. And, if I come off as distant or times that I don't want to talk about it, I'm a very private person when it comes to that kind of stuff. Can you stop farting, please? It's so rude. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, he's gonna go get his toy. But, yeah. It's a waste of my time and energy. It really is. And if they're improving and we can only hope to get their shit straight and, stop lying and manipulating people, and, if you can do that, great, awesome, live your life. But the internet is forever, and what you did is there. And you've never publicly apologized. None of you have ever publicly apologized. Ever. You've half-assed given me an apology in a DM that wasn't even to me. So, never received a public apology. Or never seen you publicly accept that what you did. Ever. You never accepted that, yeah, I did this, I did that, yeah, I did that, and explain it. Never. You deflect it. And you say, oh, I didn't do that, or I didn't do that, or no. No. It's just a deflect. Everything. And Lord knows they're all gonna see it. They're gonna see this. I guarantee they're gonna see this. So, live your life. Live your life as dysfunctional and delusional as you wish. But keep me and my family out of it. And especially, don't say a damn thing about my sister. My sister. Not yours. Okay? You don't know a thing about what goes on with her. I do. My family does. We're dealing with it. You don't know a thing about her. You can say whatever you want about me. You can say whatever you want because I have the proof. But don't say a thing about my sister. Okay? I mean that. You want to see what really happens to people who continue to do things online, and you talk about online bullying and all that. Hop off. I left it alone. You should have left it alone, and you knew that. You could have been vague and discussed it and left it alone, but you decided. You decided to bring up the details of what happened. Okay? You did. Not me. I left it alone. I've been doing fine. Things have been going fine. I just woke up this morning to my entire inbox blowing up saying, hey, they're talking about you. Hey, like, you need to talk about this, or you need to see this because they're talking about your sister. Yeah, I woke up to that. So, but yeah, this is going to be the one last time that anything on here gets posted. Okay? This is it. You can find the information. If you want to find out what's going on, if you want to find out, dig through my channel, dig through my social media. You will find it. I promise you. It's not that hard to find. Okay? I have all my previous stuff up too. I didn't delete any of my stuff. Because it's a fact of life. It's something that happened. I was around these people. I have proof that I was around these people. People can't say, oh, well, that's not this, that's not that. I was around them every day for 8 months. Okay? What you see on YouTube is this edited, altered thing. You don't know them. You don't know them. You don't know me. I hate to be that person to people on here. I care, I deeply do, but you don't know that person. The internet gives you a disillusion that you know that person. You don't know that person. Okay? You don't. People who have been around them, people who have been friends with them for years, some of them, all come out. When I say there are 15 other handlers that have come out and said stuff and given screenshots and said and made their peace with what happened, it's even on my social media and on the blacklist that you can go through and read all these people's claims and things that happened to them. This is not some isolated event. It is multiple people, young people, that have been preyed upon and used and manipulated and feel like they've been manipulated and gaslighted. I'm not the only one. I'm not. At all. And I'm not the only one to say, hey, this is a problem and this is dangerous and you need to stay away from these people. I'm not the only one. And I'm not going to be the only one to be targeted either. The only reason that I get targeted is because I'm a loudmouth and I'm the head of all of this because people don't want to post it because they're scared to get backlash, and I'm not scared to hit a block button or to tell someone where to shove it. Took many, many years to get to that point. Many years. Many years of abuse and being bullied and lied to get to the point where I can tell someone where to shove it and to go fuck themselves. I'm not scared. That's why I left. That's why I posted it immediately. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. And people saying, oh, well, I didn't go after you. No. Because you knew that you were in the wrong and you wanted it to die down, so that way when things died down, you could come out on top and be like, see, I didn't do this, and high horse. Again, high horse. High horse. You want to come out on top and be squeaky clean. And that's not life. I'm not squeaky. Next handler's not squeaky. None of you are. Just some of us are less shitty than others. So, in conclusion, do your own research. The things you see on YouTube usually are twisted. Especially when, there's a lot of jump cuts and short clips here and there. Or you delete your whole channel because you don't want to get, exposed in the future. You're a waste of my time and space. And it has been that way since November. A waste of my time, breath, and space. So, if you have any other questions, if you hear any other spewing bullcrap, ask me. Because I have the proof. I have screenshots of proof. It's not just, oh, well, they said this, they said that. Oh, no. No. I have proof. I have audio recordings. I have video screenshots. So, it's your opportunity to stop. It's your opportunity to realize that you can talk about things and not talk about the people. So, I hope that this helped. Just clear some things up. But, yeah. If you have any questions, please just ask. I'm hoping to do another video soon. I'll probably do a video tomorrow. I go to wheelchair clinic to have all my new adjustments done to my chair, and I got a smart drive button, the click button for the smart drive that just came out, so that it's going to be easier for me and Denali to go on runs and stuff like that, so that I can actually, go exercise when, we're not in quarantine. But, yeah, I have some stuff going on, so hopefully I can video that stuff for you guys, and it'll give Denali a chance to go out and do some actual work. He's driving himself nuts. I've been telling him to do stuff around the house just to keep him going. So, I hope that this helped at least clear some stuff up, or, talk about exactly what happened and why I was distant. Yeah. I'm gonna go and take myself a nice warm bath. Calm down, play with Denali because he's losing his mind and he thinks that I'm gonna die. He's been up my butt. I'm upsetty spaghetti. I'm okay. And I am positive. I am. The whole reason I didn't go through this big, long energy effort to make this big video with screenshots and all that stuff is because what's the point? What's the point? It's a failing channel. It's a sad excuse. All of it. It's a sad excuse for bullcrap on the internet. I'm good. I'm good. And I'm happy. That's what matters. And I hope you guys can stick around to see, all the fun things that I get to do, and, the changes that I get to do. And, new house, talking about how to make a house accessible, installing bars and widening door frames and busting down walls and all that fun stuff. So, yeah. I really hope that you guys stick around to see all the positive stuff. So, thank you guys. And I hope to have a video up within the next couple days. Bye. Maybe.